money. Granted, we are doing this on a budget. But, it didn't say going to Alaska on the cheap. While we are on a budget, and we don't have a lot of money, and we planned way in advance. So I had enough money to fix my teeth, but we're going to go to Alaska on that money. So while we are going to Alaska on a budget, I'm telling you, this is still going to be like fix your teeth money. Saying. Anyways, I'd rather go to Alaska and chalk that experience of, I can fix my teeth later, but I can't always go to Alaska. This is going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity. My daughter's 14. She's getting to that age where she's like, hanging with dad is not cool. My parents actually are going to caravan with us. They were planning a separate trip to Alaska, but we decided to join forces and go. So once in a lifetime opportunity, I'm not going to pass it up. So this list I showed you, so there's a lot of things we took care of first, and we started planning this about a year ago. So, and then we're trying to not spend a bunch of money to do this, but it's still kind of expensive. On my list I have here things to do before you go. I showed you on the truck the things I did. I did tires, I'm doing plugs, I'm doing wires, the differential, the batteries, the brake controller. These were things on the truck. Tires were $600, plugs $400, wires or $40, wires $30, differential $30, battery $160. The brake controller was $120. I installed all this stuff myself, so I saved money there. But that's still $980 just to get the truck ready to go. And it's a 2006, so it's a 17-year-old truck. We got it for $3,000, With that being said, another item that we had to do was passports, because we're driving through Canada. I had to get a passport for me, $130. Passport for my wife-to-be, I guess she's technically my fiance, $130. And then my daughter, hers was $110. That's $390. So just with the truck and the passport, that's $1,370. With that being said, the things I did on the trailer, those batteries, the AGM 100 amp hour batteries, those are $200 a piece. That's $400. The solar panels are about $100 a piece. That's $200. So that's $600. Plus, I wanted to have an extra spare, roughly about $100. So you're looking at about $700 on the trailer. So that's $2,070 before we leave. And we haven't even talked about, gas. So I padded the mileage. We think it's about 12,000 miles. I'm hoping I'm going to get 15 miles a gallon in that thing. I think it's possible. Do 12,000 divided by 15. That equals 800 gallons of gas to get there and back and drive around. I'm going to say about $3.50 a gallon. I imagine it's going to be a little more in Canada. It's a little less here. Hopefully in the summer when we leave June 1st. Right now it's April 5th, 6th. I don't know. It's Thursday before Good Friday. Whatever the date is, I don't know. Jesus died tomorrow. About $2,800 in gas. So before we go and all that, that came up to 2,070, a little more, whatever I just said. That stuff and then you got to save up $2,800 to drive there and back. There's a few things that we're doing. We're taking a dog. So that dog has to have a health certificate to cross into Canada. So a rabies shot, that's what it really is a veterinarian needs to sign off that dog has a current rabies vaccination. So The health certificate, the Canadian health certificate, is like $7. You can get a rabies shot down at the Tractor Supply for $18, $19. That's $26. Then you got to find a licensed veterinarian to administer it and sign off. That's going to be more than $26. We're getting a marriage license because we're going to be married when we're in Alaska. So an Alaskan marriage license is $60. I think another thing we're going to do is we're going to buy a national parks pass because we're going to go to Denali. We'll probably go to some national parks on the way. The pass is $80. It pays the admission of everybody in the car, which would be me, my wife, and my daughter. $80 is worth it. We've done this before. You know, you get in, and it also gives you discounts on camping and RV sites and stuff like that. So it's worth the $80. Another thing is the Harvest Hosts. Harvest Hosts is a cool thing. You just need to look it up. It's places that RVers can stay for free. Places that have room, like alpaca farms, goat farms, working cattle farms, wineries, breweries, distilleries. These places that have room will allow you to camp there for free if you're a member of Harvest Hosts for one night free. And if you're a stand-up individual, you'll go in and buy a bottle of wine or buy something from their stores just because you're not a douche like us, you know. Anyways, that's about $200, but it's worth it because most of these RV parks are going to be 40, 50, 60, 80, who knows, stupid money, hotel money, dumb. So with all that being said, I mean, you're up to, before we've even left with the gas money and all these things, that's $5,370. And that's why we started saving a year ago for this. All of it's paid for. We have our gas money. Now, that's just to drive there and back. That's like if you don't do anything. There's a few things we're going to do. One of the things is there's a boat in Prince William Sound in Valdez, Alaska. It takes you out on a 7-hour tour like Gilligan's Island, but hopefully it comes back. It takes you on a 7-hour tour out to the base of Columbia Glacier so you can see the glacier calving and there's icebergs everywhere. Anyways, that's where we're getting married. We're getting married on that boat at the base of the glacier. But it's $175 a person to go on that boat. That's me, my wife, my daughter, and I got to pay for whoever's going to marry us on the thing. That's $700 just to go do that shit. But $700 is cheap for a wedding as far as I'm concerned. So, another thing we wanted to do is there's the Yukon Pass and White Railroad, or the Yukon and White Pass Railroad. It goes up over the mountains and down to the coast, all the way to the border. Is badass, but it's $250 a person. I don't know that that's going to happen. I can ride a train anywhere, but you can only go to the base of a glacier in a few places. Granted, with that being said, that's about $1,450 just in those two excursions. And we're probably not going to do one of them, so we just back to $700. Then, bro, you got to eat, right? So you got to eat. I mean, we're taking ramen, we're taking SpaghettiOs, we're taking Twinkies, you know, but we don't want to become diabetic on this thing. So whatever. I think $1,000 is good. So if you add all that up, it's $6,370 plus, that's about $7,000. And this is just not being extravagant at all. This is bare bones minimum that we're trying to budget for, and we're still coming to $7,000. So you might be able to, plus you got to have a trailer. I mean, I had to borrow money from my parents for this trailer. You don't even want to know how much a trailer costs. That little trailer that I showed you, off the lot, used, 1 year old, granted it is the adventure package, that trailer was $18,000 plus 2 years of warranty insurance and all that stuff. Dude, it was like 20 grand. Now you could do a lot better off a trailer. We took that. Maybe we'll sell it when we get back, but I'm paying on that. I didn't pay 20 grand for it. I gave $2,000 down. So if you want to add that on there, that $2,000, that's $9,000 so far. And that's with you taking $1,000 for food, for whatever you might want to do. So granted, and we're doing this as inexpensively as we can, I think that going to Alaska, I mean, 10 grand, $10,000. And that's like the minimum. I mean, you can not go on the thing and get married. Okay, so that's going to save you $700 on the trip, on the boat, and like $60 on the marriage license, but you're still at like $9,300. So if you plan on going to Alaska, even on a budget, you need to take some time, save it up, just like anything else. But damn, I'm at 10 minutes and 44 seconds, and I'm supposed to be on 5-minute videos. I don't even know how I can make this shorter. That's kind of our budget list, and I think that's a basic list. I think this would be just about the same for anybody. And I mean, I think that's just about as cheap as you could do it. I mean, shit is just expensive. But you can't put a price on once-in-a-lifetime memories.